Welcome back. Before the break, Celeste Mills made a deal with her doctor to continue fighting her breast cancer and stay alive long enough to receive a new drug called Kadcyla. Dr. Glasby, you were cautiously optimistic about Kadcyla actually working, and we have an animation to show how the drug is thought to work. Can you please walk us through this process?
Okay, so her kind of breast cancer has something on the surface that's increased, which is HER2. It's a receptor that sits on the surface. And Herceptin is an antibody. This white thing is the antibody. And when it binds to that, it often can cause damage to the cancer cell and cause it to die or not be able to grow. That worked for Celeste for a long time. The difference here is Kadcyla is the same drug, only it has, you see in green, chemotherapy linked to it. So it's like a Trojan horse. When those breast cancer cells that have the HER2 on the surface take this protein in, they get a mouthful of poison. And so it's a way of directing the chemotherapy just to the cancer cells, so it makes the treatment much less toxic. And it makes it much more targeted because it goes where the problem is and only where the problem is, and that's the cancer.
Is that what makes this drug different than other drugs on the market, doctor?
Yes, it is. It's really one of the first linked drugs where an antibody is linked to a poison and that is delivered to the cancer cell. So this is one of the most successful antibodies in medical history, this Herceptin thing. And now it's being filled with Greek soldiers before it's wheeled into the fort, and it's doing what you would expect to have happen. It's not good for the cancer cells, and in general, patients tolerate it real well.
So is it administered like chemotherapy is intravenous, and it doesn't have the same devastating effects, does it, as chemo?
Well, it is intravenous, and Celeste is an expert at what it feels like to receive it, more than I am, because I've never been treated with it. But the antibody does not have much in the way of side effects in general, and adding the chemotherapy drug to the antibody keeps it from causing toxicity to other organs. And so it's not zero chance of other toxicities, but they're much reduced. It does have to be put in the vein, and it's given every 3 weeks.
Well, Celeste, this is an opportunity to inform the doctor of how that felt. I mean, obviously you're the expert at it.
Well, yeah, I am an expert at it. One thing that is a huge difference is that the side effects, although there are a couple, are incredibly tolerable, very minor.
May I ask what they are?
I do get some headaches during the first week, and sometimes I get nausea, but not the kind of nausea traditional chemotherapy caused. That kind of nausea, I couldn't eat, I couldn't get out of bed. It was devastating. This is a queasy stomach. I can take a acid reducer and feel much better. So it allows me to have quality in my life. It's not a cure, but it's something that allows me to live my life with the cancer and still be able to do things instead of just wake up and say, why am I still here?
Right.
Yeah, I have a question for you, doctor. This seems to be such a miracle story that this drug becomes available. It's what you need, but there seemed to be a race going on here between Celeste staying with us and the FDA's approval. If there is an answer to this, how much time do you think she had remaining in her life before this product was available, this drug?
Yeah, I didn't know how long she had, but I did believe that her chances of having time for the drug to help her was going down on a daily basis. She was that sick.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you take the drug too late, even if it was going to help you, it can be too late to help. And so we thought days mattered with her in this particular instance. And what was really beautiful about what happened here was we just called a timeout from the usual way business is done and commerce and who pays for what. and how long it takes to get through a wholesaler. And everybody, the manufacturer of the drug, fell in love with Celeste. Everybody just grabbed an oar and started rowing. And for one of those rare times in human commerce, everybody was rowing in exactly the same direction, and got her what she needed. She turned out to be the first person in the country who received the drug after the drug was approved, because everybody was so focused. And these people still email me asking how she's doing, and it's a feel-good story for everybody. This is humanity at its best.
When will this drug be available for the public?
No, it's available to the public. It just took a week or two for all the wholesalers to have it. And for most patients, it didn't matter if there was an extra week or two of delay.
Would you, Doctor, would it be fair of me to characterize this as a victory in our battle against cancer?
I guess as long as you say battle instead of war, I agree with that. Celeste won one.
Yeah.
She won one, many years ago, and she's won one now. None of us knows what the future holds, but so far, she's batting 1,000.
What's she going to do, Celeste, now that you've won this go-around? What's planned for you in life? What do you still want to do?
I've just made plans to take a week off and go to Hawaii.
Yes.
And I'm hoping that soon I'll have the energy back to compete with my dogs, which I had done for 30 years.
Show dogs.
Show dogs. And so I'm still sitting in shock, because I wake up every morning and I go, oh, I feel good. I go out and I can garden and I can do things that I wasn't able to do. So.
Well, if you need somebody to help carry your bags to Hawaii, I'll go. I can use a little break.
I would like to say one thing.
Sure.
I think that every patient on earth should have a doctor that advocates for their patients the way Dr. Glasby advocates, not just for me, but all of his patients. He is not afraid to get out there and say what needs to be said. And if he has a patient that's failing like I was and can't wait that 2 weeks, he went to bat for me. I had tears in my eyes that whole day. I mean, it's just, I couldn't believe, how beautiful it was.
He was your champion.
And he always will be my champion, absolutely.